We work with colleges and universities all over the country, helping them to implement a personalized video messaging strategy as part of their outreach. And luckily, our company has had the absolute pleasure of working with Fisher College over the last year, helping them do just that. So do you guys want to quickly introduce yourselves too?
Hi, everybody. My name's Karen Dunton. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions Operations at Fisher College, and CoVideo is my new favorite tool. We love it. We use it for a lot of different things, and it's extremely useful. And this is my colleague, Chelsea Scarpati.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I've worked at Fisher for about 8 years, and I can attest this is one of the cooler things we've brought on in the time that we've been here. So yeah.
Sorry, the microphone makes it a little awkward. It's like hot potato here. So, but we are excited to hear a little bit more from them. They'll talk about some of the use cases, even show some example videos. So we're gonna get into how exactly Fisher College is using CoVideo. But first, a little bit of background here for you guys. This is a regular email. Nobody needs an example of what a regular email is. We have hundreds of them waiting for us in our inbox right now. I don't know if you're anything like me, but you're trying to stop yourself from looking at it at this very moment. But I think it's really great to see the juxtaposition about what a typical plain text email looks like next to a personalized video email. You can see right away how much more engaging this is from the moment that your prospective student or their family members or loved ones opens that up. They get to see a familiar, smiling face that's looking right at them and making it even uber personalized by holding up that sign that says, "Hey, Jillian," there. So right away, so much more engaging and easier to digest. When you take a look at this, do you want to sit here and read all of this? Or are you like, ooh, I'll just click on here and see what this video is all about? So I think it's powerful to see the juxtaposition between those two. So let's take a look and see what Dylan has to say.
Hello, Jillian. This is Dylan with Fisher College Admissions. I'm just reaching out to you today to say thank you so much for attending our Accepted Students Day this past Sunday. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you and your mother. You guys were fantastic. We were so happy to see you there. And we are so excited that you are going to be joining us here at Fisher College in Boston next fall. We think you're going to be fantastic here. You're going to be a great fit not only on our campus, but also in the city of Boston. If you have absolutely any questions, please let me know, and please make sure to fill out the survey below to see if you can win our raffle prize, which is an iPhone 13. So please let me know if you have any questions. But again, I am so excited to see you down here in the fall. I think you're going to be great, and it's going to be a great experience for you. So please, again, let me know if you need anything at all. But other than that, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you soon.
In under 1 minute, he has done so much to make Jillian feel seen, heard, and special. Such a different experience from the typical email that you're getting from people. Now, obviously, this is uber personalized. We're going to talk about some of the ways that you can scale that as well. We don't always have to drill down and make it that specific, but that is what's so important. Just letting people know, especially a lot of us, when we are talking about the value of our universities and what people are getting, it's small class sizes, it's personal attention and experience. We want people to be practicing that from the get-go. And that's exactly what the Fisher team is doing here. So I wanted to go over some of the different types of videos because you might be thinking to yourself, hey, we're already using video in our strategy. And if you are, that's great. And there's a ton of different variety. One is not better than the other. They're just used in different circumstances to accomplish different things. So just quickly to go over some of those on the marketing videos. They are typically for your websites or maybe major email campaigns. They are polished and they're professional. They're kind of those sexy ones, right, that your marketing team is putting together. And they have their place for sure. Do not get rid of those. However, they're a very large investment of time and money. They definitely have a longer shelf life, so they can stay around for a little bit longer. But of course, it's impossible to scale those or personalize those at scale because they are so expensive, because it takes so much time. So I know when you're thinking about video, sometimes we think about something that has music and editing and lighting. We're not talking about those kinds of videos today. Then we've got our social media videos. If you were in the first session, again, with Zach, he talked about these as well. Still very important. They're fun. They're inexpensive to make. They meet students where they are, which is a really important thing. And then the distribution channels, though, by their very nature, are a little bit limited, right? Our students already following you there or engaging with you there. If they're not, it's so much harder to reach them proactively in that way. And then, of course, the content is meant to be consumed in mass. So again, more difficult for that level of personalization that we're looking for. Then we've got video conferencing, great for live conversations. Of course, we have to have those. All parties, though, have to agree, hey, we're going to be here at this specific time in this specific place. It's called synchronous communication. That's where Zoom fatigue comes in. You guys might be familiar with this. I know I sure am. But I think that when we do that, there's a time and a place for it. But when we do so many Zooms, it really puts a lot of the weight back on those prospective students and their families to show up, to be present, to be there at that time and place. Whereas when we're talking about personalized video, it's asynchronous communication, which means not only can you record and send those videos when you're able to and have the time, but your prospective students can engage with them at whatever time it makes sense for them. So it's much more open and I think respectful of their time, which is very limited, right? It's delivered either via email, text, or maybe social media DM. It's going to be much more one-to-one or one-to-few. We're talking, in that video that we saw, he was calling Jillian out by name. Hey, it was great to meet you. Great to meet your mom. Thanks so much. That was hyper personalized. Because you've got control and you and your team are making these videos, you can make them as specific or general as you need to. We'll talk a little bit more too about when to do which. It's also authentic and stripped down. Yes, I'm using the buzzy word authentic. Everyone will say it to you, but it's because it is so important. When you're making those marketing videos, they're less authentic, right? Which again, they serve their own purpose. This is your chance to show your team, tell your school's story and invite students into that story. And then, of course, hyper-personalized to either the person or situation and can be watched and shared over and over. That's super important. It's not just that one-time message. Maybe it's, Facebook Live or the Zoom where you guys are on there live. They can go back and reference it. Really helpful, especially when looking at FAQs. So a couple quick stats for you guys here too. 70% of students are likely to stay on campus if someone at the school knows their name or has a personal connection. I bring this up because we're all here, not because we make a ton of money doing what we do, but because we love it. We care about it. We care about the students and their experience. We don't want to just bring them to the school. We want them to know that they're in the right place. We want them to stay. We want them to succeed. And when they already have a personal connection, someone even in admissions knows my name, they know that someone there has their back. And then 80% of internet traffic is watching video right now. In fact, I think that stat is actually a little bit low. I just bring that up to, really beat the dead horse that video is not going away. If you think about your own social media, where it was even 5 years ago, way more text heavy or even image heavy, and now almost exclusively video. So if you've been fighting video, fight it no more because it's not going anywhere. Also, 95% of a message is remembered when it's delivered via video versus just 10% with plain text. I mean, if that is not enough, honestly, we could really stop the presentation right now because it's so important to be memorable and for your students to have that impact. And the reason that happens, guys, is because as humans, we are wired for connection. When we see someone's face and hear their voice, our brain starts to light up and be like, ooh, that's a person, in a way that doesn't happen when we're just reading an email. That's what makes it so much more memorable. It's why we love Super Bowl commercials and why, it doesn't really matter when we see maybe an ad in a newspaper nearly as much. Way more powerful when it's through video. And then this stat continues to blow my mind. The average teen watches 68 videos every single day. That's between TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and everything else that's out there. And the reason I bring that up is because we know that it is their preferred medium and we need to speak their language. I know that it takes effort and it feels a little vulnerable for us to think about making our own videos. Everybody's on board with video until I tell them that they're going to be the ones making it. And then all of a sudden they like slowly back away from me. I'm like, no, come closer. It's okay. You can do it. But it's really, really important to do that. And we'll talk a little bit about authenticity some more. Also, this stat down here is overquoted. I know it is, but it's just a fancy way. So communication, 7% verbal, 38% vocal, and 55% nonverbal. It's a fancy way of saying it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And when you have video, you've got tone, inflection, body language. You can convey your passion, your knowledge in a way that does not come through in just text. And again, that's just because we're wired for connection and we've got all those different tools available to us when we're using video. And I have to say, nothing ever replaces the power of being in person. That's the gold standard for sure. But when we use video, we're building a bridge between the necessary evil of email and then the gold standard of being in person. And I think actually Zach talked on that as well. And just a quick stat here, or quote, I won't read this whole thing for you since you will have the presentation, but the one that I've got highlighted here, providing mass customization and mass personalization has become the new norm and is expected from this audience. I think when it used to be maybe 2 to 5 years ago, it used to feel like, hey, we're really going above and beyond. I hate to break it to you guys, this is what's expected, right? So we got to get there now. Let's take a little bit more here, a little bit closer look when we're looking at video versus plain text emails. Open rates increasing by 19%. Big caveat here, guys. You have to use the word video in the subject line, right? Subject lines are still very, very important. People ask me this all the time. How does video increase my open rate? It doesn't unless you use the word video in your subject line, because there's no way for them to know that there's a video unless you put that in there. Also, don't just bait and switch them. You got to put a video if you say video in there, right? So, and then click-through rates increasing by 65% when you're using a video thumbnail. This is what I mean by video thumbnail. It's an animated GIF that lets them know, hey, this is a video, rather than just a raw link. Raw links, no, not going to happen. Mostly because, as people should be, they're worried about security. And so they're not going to click on those unknown links. So it really does need to be an animated GIF or a thumbnail like this. And then the last one is increasing response rates by 200%. That's what we're looking for, right? All we want to do is spark conversations to get that opportunity to build relationships, because that's what it's all about. And it starts with getting them to respond to you. And so the premise here is embracing the power of video. Of course, like I said, if you haven't done it already, fight it no more. This is the time. And then lifting the veil. What I mean by this, and Zach talked a little bit about Brene Brown. Any other Brene Brown fans in the room? A couple. Okay, great. She talks, if you haven't seen her TED Talk on vulnerability, it's absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it. We can hide behind the veil of email. And it doesn't require us to be vulnerable. Trust me, I'm telling you, I know that it feels uncomfortable to think about getting on camera, right? It is like hearing yourself on voicemail times 10. Like at first you're like, this is so uncomfortable. Is this what I look like? Are those my mannerisms? Why is my voice so nasally? It's because I'm from Indiana. This is just, but then you just say, that's me, right? That's authenticity. That's being real. And people connect with that. So lifting the veil is important. And also the other thing that I meant to mention on that is it can be really hard, this is a duh statement again, to get prospective students to engage with us. It's always been hard to get teenagers to engage with us, but even more so after a pandemic, right? Where they've been hiding, and not just teenagers, even your non-traditional, your adult learners as well. We've been hiding behind our screens. We've been, having to hide behind our masks and unfortunately sometimes still do, right? And so we want to model good behavior for them and put ourselves out there. And that requires us to be a little bit vulnerable if we're going to ask students to do the same. We want to meet students where they are. Where they are is making and consuming video. I don't have to say more. Empower your team when in-person isn't possible. And it's not always just a pandemic, right? It could be through distance. International students. We've talked a lot about international students. Of course, they can't be in person with us. Maybe they're coming from another part of the country. Maybe they don't have the means to travel, right? So we want to be as inclusive as possible. Video is a great way to do that. We want to create meaningful experiences. That's one of the things we're selling at college, right? Not just the ROI, not just what they're going to learn, their experience, the life that they're going to have at the university. We can tell that story way better through the power of video. And when we create more meaningful experiences, we're able to spark more conversations and build stronger connections, which ultimately leads to more conversions. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to my friends at Fisher, and they're gonna tell you a little bit about their experience with video.
Well, hello again, everybody. How many here are using video? Matt over there from CoVideo. CoVideo is super easy to use. Everybody in our office uses it. We use it for personalized videos. I also use it to send some math videos. Thank you for coming to Accepted Students Day. Still giving that little personalized connection, but with a small staff trying to be as productive as possible.
What's up, Falcons? We are 4 days away from our biggest admissions event of the year, our annual Accepted Students Day, and you're already registered. I'm so excited to welcome you on campus this Friday for our summer orientation. And this is kind of the first step on your college journey. So congratulations on submitting your enrollment deposit. We did receive it, which means you are officially a Fisher College Falcon for next fall.
Hi! I want to thank you for coming to Accepted Students Day yesterday. It was so nice to meet you, and it was so amazing to finally be able to welcome you all back to campus after way too long.
Hi, Catherine. Congratulations on submitting your housing deposit for, become a member of our class of 2026. For those of you who don't know what an on-the-spot decision day is, it's an opportunity for you to apply to Fisher and receive an admissions decision on the same day. What is the Parent Plus loan and how do I apply for it? So I just want to make a quick video to kind of go over it a little bit.
Just wanted to reach out to you today to personally thank you for coming to Accepted Students Day on Sunday. I hope you enjoyed yourself and enjoyed our great school here in the Back Bay of Boston.
So don't wait until the last second. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them, and I really hope to hear from you soon.
So there was a little sample of my great staff. Samples of, we did on-the-spot decision days. One of the videos that was very successful was we did that video with the screen share on how to apply for a Parent Plus loan. Financial aid, parents, it's all very confusing and scary. So we sent that video to a list of parents on how to fill out the Parent Plus loan, and that was very, very successful. So this tool has become key in how we are communicating with our students this year. Our open rates have gone up to 67, sometimes 70, 75% when I send a video versus sending just a plain text email. My friends at Spark, I see a couple of them are here, and we are one of their clients, and we have recently just put video into our Admit to Yield campaigns. And I was looking the other day and noticed that the open rates had gone up from the videos versus the plain text. So just another example. This particular video was sent to all of our students that attended Accepted Students Day that were Alex's students. And there was a 75% open rate on that email, just thanking them for coming and meeting her, visiting campus. We've had a couple of students say directly to our admissions counselors, I've had students reply and say they really appreciated the personalized video. They were surprised to receive it. I even had a student who replied with a CoVideo of her own to say thanks. There's an easy reply with video on the video that they receive in their inbox. They don't need to do anything. Their camera just pops up. They say thanks, send, done. our counselor Dylan, once I had a student say to me that she committed to Fisher because of my video. She felt that we genuinely wanted her to come to Fisher, and other schools seemed not to care. So it's pretty powerful. Thanks. Yes, we are using CoVideo to help build our applications, making sure that they are sending in their missing documents, connecting with high school counselors, saying, hey, can I come visit your school? Can I set up a visit? I said that twice, sorry. Complete their application. Please send in your documents, but it can be mentioned twice.
Hi, Brockton High seniors. My name is Eric Pappas. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Fisher College in Boston. Just wanted to reach out and connect with everybody today to inform you that I will be coming to Brockton High on February 15th to do an on-the-spot decision day. For those of you who don't know what an on-the-spot decision day is, it's an opportunity for you to apply to Fisher and receive an admissions decision on the same day, okay? And you'll get to meet with myself or some of the admissions counselors here. So if you are interested in Fisher, please reach out to your guidance counselor to sign up for a time slot to meet with one of us. So that way we can work together on getting you applied and getting you an admissions decision right then and there. For those of you who don't know anything about Fisher or are interested in Fisher, we are a small non-for-profit institution located here in Back Bay of Boston, a really cool location right across from the public garden right down on Beacon Street. We are a smaller college, but we have a wide variety of different majors and degree opportunities that you can take advantage of here. Some of our more popular majors are biology, information technology, psychology and criminal justice, and management with a few different concentrations, whether that be fashion merchandising or accounting. But we are really located in the center of Boston, in a great location. But it would be a great opportunity to sit down with us and get admission decision to college, and look forward to your opportunity to further your education here. Okay, so it was great kind of connecting with you virtually here, but I hope to meet all of you pretty soon at Brockton High.
That was our friend Eric, and you can see it's authentic. He's a little nervous. He's making little jokes. But
I just want to add one quick thing on the spot here. The reason we show these is so you guys know they don't have to script them, right? And he's kind of just muddling through it, but it works. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about being yourself, and that's way better than having some really scripted, perfect video. So there's a reason we show you all these videos so you can imagine yourselves doing them.
Chelsea, why don't you come do this? Chelsea's in charge of all of our events, so I'll give her the mic for a second.
We had to get creative, obviously, as everyone did when the pandemic started. So we really wanted students to come back to campus because that's one of our biggest selling points is we are in the Back Bay of Boston. I'm not sure how many people know where that is, but it sits right on the Boston Garden, so it's absolutely beautiful. So we had been seeing kids were really nervous about coming, and so we had actually sent a lot of videos through CoVideo just inviting them to come to campus and even thanking them from coming to campus. And even as simple as just coming for I want to hit the right thing. Just coming to campus for a visit, for in person, having, not been out of their houses for 2 years pretty much. And it worked really well. Students actually, replied back when half the time you send a thank you for coming email. You might never hear from that kid again, even if they're a junior. They would be, sometimes they'd follow us on Instagram or something like that. Or sharing good news, even beyond just the students themselves getting accepted. We just launched a new program. We did a whole CoVideo about that. Or I'm trying to think of other creative ones. We do February break events. They sound like me stumbling right now in some of these videos.
What's up, Falcons? We are 4 days away from our biggest admissions event of the year, our annual Accepted Students Day, and you're already registered. We cannot wait to see you on campus in just a few days now. To the left of me here, you'll be able to see some fun and exciting things that we have going on that day. But first and foremost, as a reminder, the event is this Sunday, April 3rd, starts at 10 a.m. is when check-in is, and parking is completely free in the city on Sunday. So you'll be able to find a spot right at a meter, and you don't have to worry about paying because parking is free. Like I said, you're already registered, so as soon as you show up, you're going to be entered to win a free iPhone 13. But more importantly, you're going to be able to talk to some program directors, learn more about your major, talk to current Falcons, talk to the admissions office. Our financial aid office will be here. It's just going to be a great day in the city. The weather looks great. We're really looking forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, give us a call.
So actually, at the beginning, when he says if you look to the left, there are different landing pages. So when a student launches it, you can choose what it looks like. Actually, the first one we showed was one of those. And yes, parking is expensive in the city of Boston, so that is a huge selling point. That is not a joke. And also, we have written these emails 100 times, like just being like, come to the city. This is what you're going to do during the day. And it just gets so repetitive, and the kids don't open them, especially if you're like trying to set up an email campaign getting them to come. And we found just, incorporating these in, even students that hadn't signed up 4 days before, we boosted our signups 4 days before because they watched a quick video about it.
Thanks, Jill. So Fisher Fun Facts, CoVideo is integrated directly into Element 451. And all of you probably use Element 451. So, we're reiterating. Parent videos, that was a good one. We liked parent videos. Parent communication is very important these days. I have a 16-year-old, she's going to be a junior in high school, so I'm starting this process with her, and it's very important that people communicate with me. So, and as we've reiterated over and over, our open rates have increased significantly when using video incorporated into typical other senior search and admit to yield emails. This is the video that shows you how you can incorporate CoVideo into your Element 451. So we'll just play that so you guys can see how easy it is.
Easily record and share personalized videos on the spot inside your conversations using the CoVideo integration for Element 451. Here's how it works. Within your conversations, you'll find the CoVideo button directly below the dialog box for quick access to your video library, where you can record a new video. I think that you will be a great fit for our university, and I cannot wait to meet you on campus next week, or share previously recorded ones from your library. Use Send and Share to instantly add video to your conversations, displayed as an animated thumbnail. Or use Quick Share to copy and paste the link for internal feedback or sharing through other channels. Want to increase engagement? Hold up a whiteboard with the student's name to show the video was made especially for them. When they click your video, it'll open inside your school's custom branded, mobile responsive landing page with calls to action to drive next steps. This hyper-personalized experience lets you treat each prospect and applicant with the individual attention they expect and allows your team to build instant trust and rapport by letting them know there's a real person on the other end that cares. Surprise and delight prospective students and applicants by sending them hyper-personalized videos in real time, or send pre-recorded videos for an engaging spin on answering FAQs. With no limits on video recording and sending, the options are endless. To learn more about the integration, contact your Element 451 or CoVideo rep today.
Turning it back to Margaret.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'll take that clicker from you though. Thanks very much. And I have to say, after watching Artis's presentation about some of the new features coming out with Element 451, I am so excited about even more ways you can start using video within Element. The packs, I was like thinking about a million different canned videos that you guys can use, happy birthday messages or congratulations or, whatever the case might be. Those are great opportunities for those canned videos. Again, doesn't always have to be personalized. We can talk about, hey, up at the top of the funnel is probably a better place to put people into buckets where it's more generalized messages. And as they move down and become an accepted student and you're trying to fight that summer melt, let's make them as personalized as we possibly can. So just some quick additional use cases. As I just said, keeping students engaged throughout that summertime is super important. Events going on, what's happening. We can't wait to welcome you in the fall. Virtual tours. So we also have a mobile app. So that way you're not just tied to your computer. You can go out and maybe do the lab, different facilities. If they're attending for sports, whatever that might be, you can go out onto campus, which I think is a really fun touch. And then collecting student stories and testimonials. I think they had touched on a feature that we have called video reply. And I know we've talked about using testimonials within those email cadences, and that's really important for prospective students. This is a super easy way to collect those because trust me, I know someone says, let's get some testimonials or some case studies. And you're like, oh my God, that is going to be so much work. Who are we going to talk to? When are they going to come into the office? How are we going to get a camera person? Like, it's overwhelming, even though it's all well and good to talk about. Video reply is the perfect opportunity to do that. You can send out a video in mass to students and say, hey, tell us a little bit about your experience here at Butler University, Fisher College, wherever you might be. Even give them a prompting about something specific you want them to touch on. They will automatically have a camera pull up either on their phone or on their desktop. They record a short video. It goes back to you, jumps into your CoVideo account, so you automatically have access to start using that in any of your campaigns or messages. Student ambassadors, great, love it. Screen sharing, that was in one of the examples as well for answering questions. I use our screen share feature every single day because it means I don't have to get on Zoom, right? I can pull something up, I can show them, hey, this is where you need to go. I'm trying to teach some of our more senior members of our team how to update their email signature. Do you know what it's like to talk someone through that who's 75 years old? Mike DeLong. So if I'm able to show him a screen share, I can jab him. He loves it. I can show him a screen share and say, hey, this is where you need to do it. Click on here in your settings, whatever. Boom, he's good to go. Great for really tough, complicated questions when it comes to maybe like FAFSA, transfer students. How do I transfer my credits, right? You can answer all those questions in a screen share. FAQs, this is a perfect opportunity, and I'll just put all these up here. Create a library of them, and you'll have access to them in your library within Element 451. So any of those FAQs that you're banging your head against the wall, you have to answer all the time, and I know, you've got a handful of them, right? Record a quick video, and you can make it seem like it's personal. Hey, thanks so much for your question about housing on campus. And then just go into, whatever that answer might be, right? Keep it as casual and personal and conversational as possible, and you can use those over and over. And then creating a personalized enrollment journey. I know personalization is another one of those buzzwords along with authenticity, but we'll keep saying it again because it's that important. Saving time that can be dedicated to other projects. This might be controversial, but bye-bye, handwritten notes. I maintain that a personalized video message is the 2020 version of a handwritten note. Try it out, see what your team thinks. I guarantee it will save them time and it will save their arm a lot of cramping. Ensure students feel seen, heard, and valued. Build loyalty right from the start. Get a competitive edge in a crowded market. Again, in that first session, get a lot of great information. You're not just competing against your competition, other schools. You're competing for that student's time and attention, and it is very, very limited. And then quantifying student interest and prioritizing outreach with analytics. So one of the things that's really cool too is, with email, of course, you can see maybe did someone open it, but how much time did they spend on it? We can tell exactly how much of that video did they watched. Did they go back and watch other parts and watch it multiple times? Did they click on any of those calls to action? And then you get a real-time notification in your inbox that lets you know who was watching which video and when. So that way you can have some follow-up tasks based on that. And then just quickly, am I doing okay on time still? Perfect. Okay. So a couple do's and don'ts for you as you're thinking through this, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because there's a lot when you're talking about a new strategy, right? I want to make this something that feels as easy and doable as possible. So a couple do's and don'ts. Don't spend 30 minutes on a 30-second video. Your time is super valuable and it's limited, and it's not going to make it any better, right? So try to be as conversational. I normally tell people to think about it as a video voicemail. So the same way when you're going to leave somebody a voicemail, you've got an idea in your head about what you're going to say, but you're not writing out a script for it. Treat your videos the exact same way. Going along with that, don't try to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect anyway. And even better, there is nothing relatable about perfectionism, right? And so we want to show people who we are as real people. They connect with that way better. So you can get over that fear of being like, my video wasn't just perfect. It'll never be perfect. And I'll tell you, honestly, some of the best videos I make are when I have Emma, our office dog at CoVideo, will be walking behind me or like trying to get me to pet her. And I'm like, hey, I just wanted to say hi. I was like, Emma wanted to say hi too. People love those videos and they engage with them way more. Thank you. Don't waste money on fancy equipment. You don't need it. Use your phone, use your computer. Don't memorize a script. Again, that goes along with, not trying to be perfect and you'll just get frustrated. Don't hire more people or a specialist for video. Use your team. That's exactly who I want you to use, right? You're telling your story. So use your team, your students, your faculty, your mascot. I think that would be a super fun way to use some video. And of course, this is an obvious one. Don't say anything that you wouldn't in a typical email or voicemail, right? Keep it profesh. Don't send video as an attachment. I bring this up because that's one of the reasons that you should probably be using a provider like CoVideo, although there are other options, right? But we do integrate directly with Element 451. It means that it's going to be in the body of the email and not an attachment, which is going to be way too big and probably won't get through. It'll probably get caught in spam. Okay, couple of quick do's for you. Remain authentic, act casual and conversational, smile and make eye contact. This is a tough one, guys, because we always want to look at ourselves on camera. Lift your eyes just a little bit and look at where that camera, that little circle is on your computer. It simulates making eye contact and it makes a really big difference. Keep your videos short. 30 to 45 seconds is optimal. And, when we think about students and their level of attention and even our own level of attention, I'm sure that makes a lot of sense. The only caveat with that is if a student has asked you a question, they've bought into your longer answer. So you can take a little bit more time with that. Don't feel like you have to be like you're a carnival barker or anything, right? Include clickable thumbnails. That's that link that we talked about where it's that animated GIF. That's always really important. We call it the whiteboard technique too, when you write someone's name or something specific to them. It could just be something as simple as congratulations or thank you. Whatever it has to do with the video, that's usually gives them a nice little indication. Personalize your videos as much as you can. Always, always, always include a CTA. We're not just trying to convey a message to people. We're trying to get them to move through the funnel, take the next action. So always tell them what you want them to do next and what those next steps are. Include the word video in your subject lines to get those better open rates. Use your best resources, which is your people and your campus. Get out there and make videos in those iconic places that people know. Think about your aesthetics. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you've got pennant banners, if you want to wear swag from your school, that all helps. And your marketing people, as a director of marketing, will thank you. Develop a process and stay consistent. I cannot say this enough. This is really, really important, and not just for video. Any new tool or strategy that you're using, you have to have a process, because if you just throw something at people and say, use it whenever you like, it's probably not going to get used. So, hey, when A happens, then we send a video, or when X happens, then we send a video, and hold your team accountable to that until they start adopting those great behaviors. And then track your wins. When you have wins, share those with your team. Don't keep those to yourself, because it means that the rest of your team can start benefiting and emulating those videos that are getting the best responses. Whew. All right, I started talking really fast there at the end, guys. But we do want to take some time here for questions that anybody has either for me or for my friends over at Fisher. So anybody?